What's going on, guys? Caleb here, and in today's video, I'm going to be breaking down how we got 20 hot leads per week in less than 5 days using this Facebook DM strategy. Now, this is not like every other DM strategy where you just copy paste and you just do a shotgun approach. I'm going to show you how to use it in a way that's methodical, in a way that's effective, in a way that you can get 20 hot leads. Now, these are hot leads that are responding to a direct offer. It's not, hey, can I send you some more info? And then the meeting doesn't happen. This is direct to offer. It's going to lead to a sale if you follow this process. I'm going to show you guys A to Z, full breakdown of how we did this in less than 5 days so that you can do it for yourself. And mind you, this client's in the medical space. This is a very saturated space, yet they still spit out 20 leads a week organically. How would that look like for your business if you were able to get 20 hot leads, spending $0 in ad spend? We're not spending any dollars when it comes to advertising. And these are very good leads that we're getting. And it's been close to 1 year. You would think that this would run out after maybe 2 months, possibly 4 months. At this volume, it's been running for a year. And so this is why I needed to drop this video, because I knew it just works if you follow this process. Only if you follow this process. All right. So, and if you watch the entire thing, I'm going to be sharing all the resources that we are going to cover in this video for you to just take this video. This is the only video that you need to be able to watch this A to Z and be able to do this from scratch. Okay. And we're going to be giving all the sauce away. Most gurus charge $10K for a setup. And we're going to be giving it away for free in this video. So let's go ahead and dive into it. We're going to dive into 3 components. So I'm breaking this down into 3 components. Okay. Number 1 is volume, diversifying in channels, getting more broad with who you're targeting. $3 VAs, we'll dive into that more in this video. The offer and messaging, I am promising you guys right now, the biggest thing that I find with the problem of why outreach is not working for you guys. If you guys are sending out a lot of messages, either you're not doing enough volume, right? That's the main problem. The second problem is if you are solving the volume problem, which most people aren't, then your offer and your messaging is not landing with your prospects. Your offer and messaging should go to your prospect's eyes, and they should be like, hey, I really want to hop on a call with you. And I'm going to show you how you can do that and how you can differentiate yourself from every other agency that's sending out the same messages. All right. And then number 3 is going to be follow-ups. And this is crucial. This is how you're really going to make the money here. Okay. So we're going to cover the 3 components. And before we get into this, you need to scrape your niche's entire lead list. Okay. So first thing is that you need to use tools like D7 Lead Finder, Apollo.io. These are just a few. I'm going to have the links here, Seamless.ai. The main thing is that you scrape everyone in your niche. Okay. You want to get, if you're in the gym niche, if you're in the chiro niche, you want to just scrape every chiro's email, socials, everything into one go. Okay. You just want to do this once. Once you do it, you have it for the rest of your agency career. So just get that over with. The second thing is that you want to make sure that all the leads are cleaned out. Okay. This is very important. I see a lot of people trying to send out emails, text, calls with numbers and emails that don't work. Okay, that's going to lead to low deliverability. Your emails are going to get blocked. You're going to get flagged. You're going to get spammed, and that's why you're not probably getting responses and leads from your outbound efforts. So make sure that you clean. If you're going to do calls or texts, make sure you clean it out. Clean out the phone numbers. Make sure you clean the emails. These are the links that I use, and you can go ahead and use that as well. Now, what's important is that if you're doing outreach on Facebook or Instagram, you want to make sure that you use a tool that scrapes all the socials, right? This is crucial. So you want to be able to scrape if you're in a gym niche, you want to scrape all the gym social links that you could find on the internet, right? There's a tool called D7 Lead Finder that does this for you. It pulls out all the links for you, which is key. Okay, I'm going to show you guys how you guys can do that. Actually, let's go ahead and show you right now. So this is for MedSpa. You can see right here, you can pull all the Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter accounts. And we have this client, they're sending out messages on all the socials, right? And this is why we're able to send out massive amounts of volume. You're sending out on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter. And guess what, guys? You can just use this sheet and just go down one by one. All right. One by one, you just go all the way down. Okay. And you play this volume game. You pair it with a volume and offer. And I'm going to show you guys how to get the offer right so that it lands and then you can actually get meetings for very, very cheap with outbound. But this is the process, right? You get all the social links. You separate it out, and then you go ahead and start sending out. Now, this is the secret sauce I'm going to show you guys right here. When we talk about this, is the thing about outbound, right? Paid ads, you don't really have a say in who you're going to target because you're just going mass market. With outbound, you can be very selective with who you are targeting, as in you can target people that are very qualified that fit your ideal avatar. So that like 1 month down the line, if I start an outbound campaign on Monday, 30 days from Monday, I can have meetings with qualified prospects. And even if it's not a live, it's 5 or 10 qualified prospects. What would that do to your agency? If you're only talking to prospects that are qualified because you're reaching out to prospects that are qualified. And so with outbound, you can really take two approaches. One is go mass volume, which works, right? And you can filter down the quality from there. Two is you can go very specific with who you're targeting and just target the top 10% of companies that you work with and just do a hyper personalized approach. And those work very well. And there you go. Even if you only land 4 to 5 meetings per week with qualified prospects that are very qualified, then your closing rate goes up, as well as your retention, your LTV, the amount of money that you make from this client because they're a good client is going to be tenfold, right? So one of the things I do to find qualified prospects, this is for if you're doing like Google listing and you're scraping from here, which D7 does, you can go right here and in Google reviews, you can actually filter by the amount of reviews they have. Boom, right? So this is for med spa. Obviously, the ones that have a lot of reviews are going to be the highest quality prospects. It makes sense. Guess what? I can do a carpet approach where I'm going to message them on Facebook. I'm going to message them on Instagram, message them on LinkedIn, do it on Twitter. I would even do personalized videos for them. I would call them. I would email them, and maybe even send over a envelope, right? Just go outbound because these are the highest quality prospects. This is what you guys need to understand. This is the top 10%. And so why would you spend time trying to target everyone when first you can just target the people that are the best fit, right? These people have 300 plus Google reviews, which means that they're a good fit. All right. So that is how, I see a lot of people talking about outbound, but they don't really talk about like what lists and people are you targeting, right? So that's the very first step. I would go ahead and do that, get very specific, and then go out and send out the messages. All right, so let's go into volume, right? In order to get messages to land, you need to send out a lot of messages. This is just a game with outbound, all right? It's not a fun game, but if you want to set 20, 30 appointments every 10 days, every week with outbound, then you need to make sure that you understand how to scale accounts. This is the number one thing. It is a headache. Once you solve it, you're pretty much good, except if Facebook rolls out an update and you just have to keep evolving, right? Because with Facebook and Instagram, you can only send out 25 new messages per account, right? So every profile that you get can only send out 25 new messages. So in order for you to hit 250 new messages, you need to get 10 new accounts, right? This client was sending out, 1124 DMs a day, 760, 1,700, so you can see why they're getting the amount of leads that they're getting. It's just purely because they figured out how to get more accounts, right? That's all you need to figure out. That's the biggest bottleneck that you're going to run into. And so the problem is accounts getting blocked, right? If you try to get like these accounts that you can buy online, those accounts get blocked all the time, and you're not able to send out the amount of messages and the amount of volume to be able to get the amount of appointments. So the solution is you have to get the right accounts and you have to have the right source, okay? And so you could either DM me for these accounts, which it's very scarce. So honestly, I'm going to show you how to do it. What I do is now I have a source that I go to now, right? So you don't need to constantly post in these groups. You just need to find a source. Basically, in these groups, virtual assistant groups, there's 164,000 people here, 154. You can make a post about how you're going to buy Facebook accounts. And the reason why you want to do this instead of going on to these sites and buying these Facebook accounts on a random site is that these people have real accounts, right? They use Facebook. Just like if you were to use Instagram, your account, and I just buy your account off you, that account is going to be very good because you actually used it. That's what Facebook and Instagram are looking for. They're looking for, is this like a native user? And they know. They know. So that's why I just use the accounts that are really being used. That's going to be the best way. And you can also check in the accounts. You can check the health. So before you buy it, you can just tell them, hey, you can send an SOP. We send a Loom, and they can go to their settings, and it'll show you in certain settings, you can see the account health, right? So you can actually see the account health. You can see how long they've been on Facebook for, and their engagement on Facebook. Right? That's going to show you the 3 key metrics of what makes a good account, and you only buy those accounts. And once you find a source, you basically can tell, hey, you can pay anywhere from $30 to $50 per account, and then you can tell the VA, hey, go to all of your friends and just start screening for these Facebook accounts. Whenever you find a good one, go ahead and let me know, and then we'll go ahead and send a WISE. We'll buy that account, and then there you go. You just keep stacking these accounts. Okay, so that's how you source the right accounts, which is crucial. Okay, you want to source the right accounts. All right. Again, this will allow you to get legit Facebook accounts, which matters. Okay. If you don't have good warm accounts, Facebook will just block you. I'm telling you right now, you will get blocked. And once you have the VA that does this, they can just go ahead and keep stacking up accounts. One VA should handle 350 new messages, right? So that means that roughly one VA, you want to kind of squeeze the juice out of this. One VA can handle 10 to 14 accounts, right? You don't need to hire 5 VAs or 10 VAs. You could just hire one VA and they can send out 350 new messages, and they need 10 to 14 new accounts that you need to get them. So your goal is to get 10 to 15 new accounts first, then hire a VA, give that VA 10 to 15 accounts. They're going to use the VPN for all of these accounts. And then from there, you give them the list like this, and you tell them to go all the way down, starting with the most qualified prospects, and then work their way down. All right. So if you want to see how we interview VAs, how we literally have hundreds, I show you in this video how we interview hundreds of VAs, $0 in ad spend or any sort of advertising. I just literally make a Facebook post, and then we're talking to hundreds of VAs. That way you can find the best VAs in your pool and then be able to hire the best ones. And then boom, there you go. You have the whole system running. Okay. So back to this sheet, correlate numbers with output. So input equals output. That's what I was saying, guys. So in order to be able to send out as many or be able to get as many appointments on Facebook, Instagram, you need to make sure that you're sending out enough volume. Okay. This could be emails, it could be DMs on Facebook, on Instagram. Doesn't matter. To make outbound work, guys, and to have this predictability in your appointments, if you want to wake up every Monday and have a stacked calendar, then you need to make sure that the input correlates with what you want to get. Okay. And it's purely a numbers game. At this point with our client, it should be to this point. You should know that if you send out 1,000 messages on Facebook, you're going to get 7 meetings. It should be like that. And this is why I love outbound and predictability, is because I just know every single day, if I send out 1,000 new messages, as long as we hit this KPI, 10 times out of 10, any day of the year for 2 years, 3 years, we should be able to get 7 appointments, right? And if you want to get 14 appointments a week, you just have to think about how you can send out, instead of 1,000, how you can send out 2,000. And this is why I said it matters. What are the constraints that are not allowing you to get to 1,000 to 2,000? If you could figure out what's not allowing you to get to 1,000 to 2,000, which could be accounts, which could be manpower, which could be the list, right? Then once you solve that, you fix that constraint, it's going to allow you to go from 1 to 2,000, and then the 2,000 messages, that input is what's going to allow you to be able to get the output, which is the appointments and more sales, right? And that's how we scale businesses with very low amount down. So if you're not looking for the results that you're looking for, if you're not seeing the results that you're looking for, then it's purely because you're not sending out enough messages. That's bottom line. That's the thing. We've seen this over and over again with all the companies that we work for. We work with 7-figure agencies. We only work with 7-figure agencies. That's the number one thing. They're not sending out enough input and messages. So the input doesn't align with the output that they're looking for. And so if you see every challenge, not as if it isn't able to be solved, right? Because I see a lot of people, they're like, oh, it just doesn't work. It just doesn't work. But that instead, it's not that it doesn't work. You're just not skilled enough, right? And so you lack the perseverance to just continue forward to solve the constraint, to follow through the problem and actually solve it. All right. So just go all the way through, baby. Number 2 is the offer. So this is super important. The offer is one of the number one reasons. So it's usually volume or offer. And the offer is, everyone's sending out the same guaranteed, this X, Y, and Z, which can work. But the advice here when you're crafting an offer, when it comes to outbound messages to make it work, is that you need to be as specific as possible. That's one. And then number 2 is you want to be as unique as possible. Okay. So in other words, let's say that you're in Cairo. Instead of me saying, hey, let's get you 10 new Cairo patients. Instead of that, I'm going to go more specific. So what type of patients could Cairos be looking for, right? If you're in a gym niche, what kind of gym members could they be looking for? There's a specific type of customer that you can talk to them about. And so if you could say something along the lines of, if we could generate 10 neuropathy cases, right? So this is not just any chiro patient, neuropathy cases, and we're being specific with the number of patients that we can bring in who have X, Y, and Z situation. So one of the things I like to do with outbound scripts is I like to talk about the type of patients that we're bringing in and their situation, right? So it's kind of like I'm selling them on the situation that the prospect is going through and the type of clients that I'm going to bring in, right? So that they can draw a mental picture of like, okay, these are the type of leads that they produce, right? And it's way better than just like, hey, can I get you 30 leads in the next 30 days? That's not going to work, right? So be specific with the situation, with type of members that you're going to bring in. Be specific in the time frame, right? So less than 30 days. If you can do a risk reversal, right, always better to have this in your offer, right? It just works. You only pay us when you get the result. Or anything with like a free trial, pay per result. If you guys have read $100 million leads, this is a big thing, right? You want to just capture more of the market with an irresistible offer, with an irresistible front end messaging, get more leads in, and then filter them through, right? And then I always end it off every outbound message with, would you be open to hearing this out? Would you be open to it? Not, yes or no. Would you be open to it? The idea. All right. So this is key. With this client, we didn't change anything with our approach. Literally nothing with our approach. The only thing that we did to go from 0 leads organically, right? And also their paid ads, when they were running paid ads, wasn't that strong, was we changed the offer. So once we changed the offer, their paid ads costs went down, right? So they started to get their cost per meeting way down. Leads started flowing in, and I mean flooding in from organic, and life just became easier, guys. When you solve your lead issue, which comes from solving your offer issue and solving the volume issue, life just becomes easy because leads are never a problem, and you have enough leads to talk to every single week to be able to close deals. And the thing you have to realize, guys, is that when you're targeting cold leads, they have no clue who you are or what you do, right? And for that reason, you need to give them an offer that they feel stupid saying no to. Okay, it should be a win-win for both parties. It should be so easy for them to just say yes. Okay, just to type in yes, it should be very, very easy. Okay, and that's how you want to think. And the thing is, like, I see a lot of agency owners talking about, hey, well, I don't want to, guarantee too much, or I don't want to offer too much, or I don't want to do a promise I don't, I can't keep, which I understand. But the thing is, would you rather be stubborn with the offer and be afraid and be fearful and take all this time, right? This takes a lot of time to set up the outbound campaigns, set up the emails, set up the DMs, to hire VAs, pay the VAs to start sending out the messages, only to get like 1 or 2 responses a week, maybe a day. I mean, that's what you're getting right now, because you're stubborn with your offer. Or would you rather make the best out of your outbound efforts, right? Make the best out of every hire that you make, every VA that you spend dollars on, every ounce that you put into setting up the outbound campaigns? Would you rather make the best use of those efforts and have just a crazy offer that you'll figure out how to fulfill for, which I could cover in the next video, right? Have a crazy offer that just people are just saying yes to. They're just like raising their hands, and you're just having so many conversations. Just people coming to you, people just raising their hands. You just send out 1,000 messages on Monday, and then on Tuesday, your inbox is filled with leads. That's literally what happened last night. Monday, this is what happens. We send out lots of volume, we send out 4,000 emails, paired it with a really good offer, with a really good list, really good targeting. And guess what? On Tuesday, our inbox is full of leads that we need to talk to. Okay, this happens because we understand that, hey, I'm going to make the best use out of all of the resources that I'm putting into this campaign, right? Which means that I want to have the best offer, because the goal here, guys, is not to get more sales. Okay, this is not the goal. The goal is to actually have more conversations. That's the first goal. Yes, down the line it's to get more sales, but the first goal that you need to figure out is how do you have as many conversations as possible with your niche. If you figure that out, I promise you, you'll get more appointments, you'll get more sales, right? So the thing is, the offer that you're promoting in the front end doesn't have to be what you sell them. Let me say that again. The offer that you promote in the front end that's getting all these people to raise their hands, it doesn't have to be the same offer that you sell them, right? The client in specific doesn't sell most of their clients on their front end offer. This client specific, right? So we lead with a front end offer. The leads start coming in, they start flooding in. And then when they on a sales call, we just pitch 2 options. Either you could go with this option or this option, right? Sometimes we just pitch this option if the prospect doesn't talk about it. Most prospects don't even care. They just, They just saw that you're offered and it looked different. And so they're like, okay, well, let me say yes. And then they hop on a sales call. They never even ask about the offer. I would say 90% of people don't ask about the offer. So, it's all up into here, guys. You just need to get a really good offer, start getting leads, start getting people to raise their hands, get on the phone to the prospects. Most likely, you guys are either just scared to talk to people or you're just not understanding this principle, right? Just really good offer, get them on a call, and then pitch them whatever you want to pitch them. All right. And then the last thing here is be unique, right? There's a bunch of other companies that are doing the same outreach strategy. Literally, this video is going to get thousands of views. There's probably going to be people that send out the same kind of strategy. You need to see how to make your message different. Is it good enough for them to want to respond? All right. And this is what happens, guys. This is in a span of 5 days, 6 days. And these are the amount of leads that we produce. You can see a majority are from Facebook DMs. This is not including IG DMs. We haven't really scaled cold emails. Think about this, guys. This is the amount of leads that we get. Okay, hot leads, direct to offer. This is not like a, hey, can I send you more info? This is, hey, do you want to buy our stuff? And this is the result of a great offer, right? So which problem would you rather be having? The no leads problem or too many leads and too many people wanting to work with you? I would think the latter half, right? And this comes with having a great offer, especially in the beginning, and then you can add friction as you go. All right. So last part here, follow-ups. All right. So we covered volume, we covered offer. Once you have those two things down, that's really going to make a game changer. The last thing to button up the whole thing is follow-ups. So every lead, this is what I say, every lead needs to be tracked meticulously. Okay. So this is why we have a tracking sheet like this. All right. You can see right here, we have KPI metrics for all of our setters, right? We have hourly breakdowns for all of our setters. We have tracking sheets for all of our setters. We want to track everything in this process because, guys, guess what? What doesn't get tracked doesn't get measured, and what doesn't get measured does not get improvement. Okay. And so if you see right here, I'd rather get 50 leads and convert 25 into appointments and get a 50% lead to appointment ratio than get 100 leads and only convert 25 appointments. All right. This is an issue. This is more efficient and you're not having to burn resources, right? There's less complexity, more quality when you're actually getting the leads to follow up and to turn into appointments, right? Now, the best case scenario is that you're getting a really high lead flow and you're keeping a high lead conversion rate and a high show up rate. And that's the best of both worlds. And, I can break down how we do that in future videos. But let's go into high level how we do this, right? So once the lead flow hits, your job is to operate to make sure that those leads convert. Okay, so once you guys start getting leads from your DMs and your outbound messages, you want to make sure your only job is to make sure that the leads are being converted. All right, so whether that's you doing the follow-ups, whether that's you holding your team accountable, your appointment setters accountable, your VAs accountable, you're the only one that's really going to make sure that the leads convert into appointments. Your team members aren't going to care as much, right? And so the fact is, VAs will get lazy, right? I've had this happen plenty of times. VAs get lazy and they're not going to follow up the leads that they got. The thing is, guys, you do so much work to get the leads, and it just takes a little bit of an ounce of effort, just a little bit of diligence to get the leads to convert into an appointment. But if you don't do that, then it's like it's a waste of time. Like what is leads going to do for you? If you have leads sitting in your pipeline right now in your CRM with phone numbers that you got from paid ads like last year, and they're just sitting there, what's the use of that if they're not turning into appointments? Right. And so you want to make sure that you just button up the process. And that happens in the first week of getting the lead. Right. And that's why you have to be very diligent with every lead that comes in. And what we do with all of our VAs, with all of our team, is that every day we're just logging in, even if it's for 5 or 10 minutes, we're going over a sheet at which the sheet has all the leads that they've accumulated in the past 7 days. And then we just go through all the leads and we say, hey, where's this lead at? Where's this lead at? Where's this lead at? You can see right here, this is it. If the appointment's booked, and we're like, okay, cool. We don't have to worry about John. But, Sarah's still in follow-up, right? You got an initial response from John, and he didn't book an appointment yet. Where are we at with Kyle? Right? And we just go all the way down. And that's how you make sure this is gonna do wonders, right? Again, you can get all the leads, but you need to make sure that the leads are converting. All right. And this is how you do it. You could do it on a tracking sheet, on a Google sheet. That's easy to do. All right. Track your numbers, right? So all of our numbers are being tracked right here. You can see right here, you just track all the numbers. And so that way you can see just data, and the data is going to allow you to make decisions, right? So if Bob got 10 positive replies this week and he only converted 3 appointments, then we know there's 3 leads that needs following up with, right? And so if you get end of day reports and you can see that leads to appointment ratio is low, then you know that Bob didn't do his job in terms of following up, right? And so you can either, these are 2 ways that you could actually change the behavior, right? And this is what worked for us. Number one, this is the most effective way, is that we just compensate them off of what we want them to do, right? And so if we want Bob to get more of these positive replies to show up to an appointment, not book an appointment, but to actually show up, then what I can do is I can say, hey, Bob, I'm going to pay you $25 per show call that you get from your positive replies. Now Bob has an incentive. He has a reason to be able to get these leads to not just book an appointment, but to show up, right? Because he's compensated. That's the best way. Always do things that are aligned with what people want. If you can align it and you can make it a win-win, right? This is the big thing with outbound, is just make it a win-win for your appointment setters, for your VAs, for yourself, right? And that's how everyone's going to be working as a team. The last 3 things, you could review every lead that I mentioned. So every lead that comes in, you just on a sheet, you have a master sheet that all the leads go through, and every day you're just going through every lead, and you just make sure that they're going through their combos, right? So you just go, okay, where's John at? Can you pull up the conversation for John? Can you pull up the conversation for Mark? Can you pull up the conversation for Josh? And you're just going through all the conversations to make sure that all the combos are followed up with and that they're converting, right? Again, last thing is that they're only going to care and be as diligent as you are about following up, right? And so if you're not being diligent and you're not actually making sure that they're following up, then they're not going to follow up as well. Okay. This is A to Z how we do this. This is, if you just do those 3 things, so volume, offer, and follow-ups, you just follow that process. You just get really good at that. And I promise you, whether it be Facebook DMs, Instagram DMs, any outbound process, if you follow those 3 principles, you'll be able to land appointments, no problem. And if you want to pay us per show call, if you're an agency above 10K a month, we only get paid per show call. We do this like clockwork. We have appointment setters that we have in-house that follow up with the leads for you, and we produce the leads as well. So if you want to pay us per show call, the price can vary per niche. If you want to talk to us, just go ahead and click the link below. I'll give you our entire process of how we do this, as well as just more details. Otherwise, hope you guys enjoyed the video. And here in Bali, still here in Bali, just enjoying my time here. Love you guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.